Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League, and what a first match. We put all this hype in the mid lane for M&S versus Balulu, but lost Zazel. Really popping off, Mazel.
Well, if you're not going to throw Joshi under the bus, I'm going to do it. He also rushed back to the screen. He was also late.
You couldn't tell.
But you couldn't tell. Yeah, that's the difference between me and you. But no, it was a very stable comp that Cloud9 had a game plan for, and they executed on. It was really up to IMTC to upend that, and they were unable to with their bottom lane.
Yeah. We've seen so many different teams try and just say, hey, we're going to pick stronger and stronger, more and more lane-focused bottom lanes, and Lost and Zazel just beats them all. It doesn't matter.
All right. Well, after all that action and fun, let's simmer down a little bit. I got a little segment that we call, thanks to Josh, by the way, we call it. It was supposed to be called "What is Desi Drawing," but Josh mispronounced it, which I think I was probably mispronouncing it first. It is "What is Dees Drawing?" Plain and simple. I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna draw moments.
I see DC.
From
like
the game.
DC.
Thank you, Marcel. We're gonna draw moments from the game, and you guys are gonna have to try and guess what they are. You'll get points if you do guess correctly, but plain and simple. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. Let me transition scenes. Let's go. All right.
Let's go.
First up.
White.
All right.
Lennon.
Hey, that's my last name.
Oh.
All right. I see the artistic value. I see all of it. It's
Cassante. This is Cassante getting ganked and proxying and dying like a fool.
Beautiful drawing. He's very sad.
He was proxying, and then there was Jimenez coming up, and Tomio was there, and they killed him in lane.
Okay, you know what? You get the point. I was about to do this. Let me show you, because Desirux does animations. Whoosh!
Man, Desi is really popping off here with the animation.
Yo, you and Emily need to collaborate on Draw My Life. That's what I'm saying.
True.
All right, this first point is going over to Josh. You were the first one, right?
Woo! I think so.
No, I was the first one,
good.
Desi.
Mazel, you get the
Desi?
point. Good job.
Yeah, there we go. I'm calling him Desi. That's how close we are.
All right, again, that was first blood over the top side. ADD unfortunately getting ganked by 3 members. Fake God, M&S, Tomio, all showing up to the party. Let's move on to the next one now, shall we?
Let's go.
Let me make this one a little bit more special.
It's still me. All right, this one's special, huh?
Letter D.
The special sauce.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's a mushroom. It's Toad.
It's looking beautiful.
There's a lot of eyes.
Is that Lulu? Is that what is happening? That's an Earth. I think that's Earth something.
Someone getting karate kick. It's the Karate Kid.
What?
You know,
that's like a manatee head. Was it? Look
at the pose. Silas.
Oh, doesn't he have that like
Oh, Silas killing Tomio by being Tomio.
Oh my God, he did it. Oh,
no,
the animation.
You got it wrong.
What?
Tomio. No. Oh
yeah.
My God.
Want me to animate it again?
That's Vex. That's Vex. That's the one where didn't he go in? Didn't M&S try to go into the team fight and then?
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought
not
M&S
Balulu
was
taking Tomio's ultimate and killing Tomio in the mid lane and then barely living.
Tomio went down, but it was M&S who went down as well. That's why I chose specifically M&S and the Vex.
Oh, yeah, I can tell.
I thought that was Batman.
It has M&S's eyes.
Wow.
That's how I can tell. That's how you can tell.
I don't know who got the point.
What is the costume here? How are we supposed to know that that's Silas? Besides the chains?
I just wanted to give him an O face. Oh, God. I just wanted to give him like an O face, just going, woo!
An O face? What is the face? He has like a snout.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a
that's
nose.
what I would shout out. If I would be shouting out my Balulu, just be doing that, you know?
Wait, but you didn't touch on the fact that he has like an animal snout.
It's not a snout.
I'm talking about above
Eric,
that.
I didn't know you did those kind of commissions.
Moving on to the next picture.
That's a yikes.
Okay, Mazel got our first point. We had mentioned that earlier. Sorry.
Yeah, we had mentioned that, right? Make sure. Yeah, we
got our
all
second
know
point.
That. It was me too. Yeah.
What?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, don't check the tape.
All right, 2 points over to Mazel. Let's
Being
see.
cheated. Again, this happens every time.
Every time.
Doing here.
Every time.
Okay, I got
Even when people are doing the game shows wrong and giving me wrong stats. Steve.
I'm happy here. I'm happy. This is where we thrive.
It's a hand and a wrist.
NACL is thriving.
Oh,
it is. It does look.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm learning things today.
We're learning paint together.
We're learning this together.
This is not Bob Ross. This is Desi. Okay.
Well, I'm almost there.
So
probably
it's
Bex.
a purple person. Purple people eater.
X was the only purple.
It's the purple
there's a
people
Lulu.
eater. Got to be the purple people eater.
Oh,
From that show whenever we were kids that you watched in like elementary school.
It's that miniature you showed me this morning out of eggplant.
Okay, here comes the animation. You ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Bop. Gone.
Oh, it's them killing bars. There's evidence jumping on bars and killing
Wait,
Whitney.
that's not fine. You didn't even give him a bow. You didn't give him any kind of
I gave him purple
anything.
skin.
You just made him purple. He's not even all purple. I mean, I guess in the Dark Cosmic skin he is, but that's just not fair.
Why are my
I'll be
drawings
honest.
getting hated? You know what, Marcel, I'm taking a point right back. You're at one.
I don't want your points.
Josh
I
is
don't want
at
'em.
2 points.
I don't need
Let's
your points
go.
before Valentine's
We're
Day. I
back.
make my own points.
I'm having fun, Eric. I can tell that you're trying to get your bonus like 10 RP from Riot so you can buy your skin.
I forgot. Wasn't that like a birthday thing that they did every now and then?
If you're missing a couple RP, you can draw a Rioter's skin and be like, hey, I am 5 RP away from buying the skin. Here's a drawing of the champion that I want to buy.
Please help me.
Yeah, they'll do it.
I'm getting an early vote in. This is
box.
the suggestion box. for
Secret Agent
IMTC.
Wukong.
Josh got it.
Woo!
Josh is now.
I like
at
mine
3
better.
I was gonna
I like
do
mine
like.
better.
I was gonna make Chad like here he is looking around, yada yada, walks away, and then I was gonna make him bigger in the other side, and now here he goes by in front of the camera. We're gonna have fun.
Okay.
We're gonna have fun.
And you'll get the whole when as the exclamation mark pops up, and
I
I'm
wanted
honestly-
to do that.
it didn't make a whole lot of difference from the game, but the fact that like Tomio did that was still kind of like well done,
Kinda
good
cool.
read.
Yeah.
All right,
All
now
right, what's your
Alright.
line? This is for all the marbles.
for all.
Yeah,
the
weirdly,
marbles.
this one is worth 10 points.
It's worth everything.
You know what? Pretend the hair is
Life
there.
or death.
The hair is so messed up.
All right, this is Zeri jumping on whoever at the very end of the game on Joey and or Wixie. I think it was Joey. It was Joey that they
Can you
jumped on.
let me finish my drawing, Joe? I was gonna
What
do
is
like all
this?
this Super
What, like,
Saiyan stuff. Here's
What is
someone
what is
flying
the
out
thing on
this
the
way.
head?
hair?
No, but the thing on top of the hair.
More hair.
Zeri doesn't have a crown.
Zeri has a lot of hair.
Tail hair thing. Here, these are all the members of I.
Wow.
Whoa, whoosh,
Wow.
Whoosh, whoosh.
Whoosh.
Wow. Oh, you're cutting people's legs off. Oh my God.
Whoosh.
Oh
That's
no.
that's what Lost
It's
did.
gruesome.
Vroom.
Okay. Who guessed that? That was Josh.
It was me.
Ooh. You know what? I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
You're like that
yes!
kid on the playground,
No.
like telling out people even though they didn't even do anything.
Okay.
Mr. Lunch Lady.
All right.
He hurt my feelings.
Lunch lady's like,
So-
go solve it yourself. I'm not your
So-
savior.
Good news. You're second place. You got 2 points, but Josh got 3. So.
What the hell, man? You can't just tell me I won and then take it away. Wow.
Josh,
Jay, I hope you know who really won. All right?
all right, Josh, as part of winning, you got to let me know now, what adaptations are we going to see from IMT before we go into the draft? Hit me quick.
Oh, they're going to try and do something else crazy in the bottom lane. They're going to be like, yo, we're going to go even harder, and we're going to beat up Lost and Zazel, and Chad's going to live there all the time. That's the good answer.
That's the good answer right there.
Let's go,
Producer
Jay.
always wins.
You know what? That's a good answer. That was very, very color caster of you. Great job, Josh. Great job on the win as well. I'm going to leave you two lovebirds to go ahead and do our second draft, our second game. See, I changed it up this time, so go ahead. Enjoy your date on the Rift.
Joshi, do you come here often?
I do come here often.
What are your favorite activities? You like long walks on the beach?
It's kind of hard to walk on the beach on the Rift, but I have a completely unrelated question to you while we wait to see what very standard bands come out from.
I'm trying to have it. It's like
No.
going on a date with somebody that has their phone
I'm learning
out.
about you, Lennon. So in Japanese, we have a word called cat's tongue.
Okay.
That happens when you drink something really hot like my tea and you go like all of a sudden.
Okay.
What do they call it in French? Do they have a word for it?
C'est chaud? Je sais
C'est
pas.
chaud? Is that
It's
just
hot?
cat's tongue?
No,
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
okay.
know.
But the whole thing where like your tongue is like
brûle?
and all your taste buds are broken for a little bit.
I don't know if that has like a phrase. I don't know.
All
I would
right.
just say ça brûle, which is
Yeah.
like it burns.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
Yeah, but
this
we know it's
this burns as well. 'cause
it's not though. No, it's I
What?
thought he was about to lock in the Sejuani. I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's ice, Joshi. You can't do that. But we do have similar sides here for IMTC C9 Challengers, and I think we're seeing a lot of those very targeted bans in this first phase. It will just be right back to what seemed to work early game for Chad in the Sejuani.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to do a little bit, but the big thing here is how are they going to build a really strong bottom lane to play up against Lost and Zeyzal? I guess the biggest thing that they still have left, right, is normally I'd say Wixie and Joey could go with, again, like a Caitlyn Lux, like I was kind of hoping for last time, but with the Sejuani first pick, it looks like it's just going to be going right on over to Lost and Zeyzal. You don't have to pick the Lux here either. That's the thing. You have plenty of other things you can play alongside the Caitlyn, and so I'm really worried because Lost and Zeyzal had a bottom lane that was not supposed to even go even earlier. Caitlyn lanes win, and Wixie and Joey, I don't know what they're going to try and play into it.
The immediate thought process I have is we're going into like a 2-phase boss fight. First phase, Wixie and Joey came into the lair of Lost and Zeyzal. They were fine. They were scaling. They worked it out. They got pushed out of the lair. Now Lost and Zeyzal are like, nah, you can't come into my place and do that to me. And they're going to take a lot of aggression on bottom side, I'm sure. It is the Poppy answer, though, for Tomio, and I think it's a very integral pick for Cloud9 early roster here in this second series.
Yeah, and you can see the Indecisions chat's having fun clicking around. I mean, Jhin has been the classic counter pick to the Caitlyn. Jhin and Ashe, the most common things that we've seen oftentimes in this matchup in order to try and play for advantage, just because you can try and contest the range a little bit, and you have the utility to lock down the Caitlyn. But the other big thing that we're a little bit worried about as I kind of look at this is, again, like Cloud9 have been so good at winning a lot of these lanes. Jhin, if you fall behind, really doesn't do hardly any damage at all, and is mostly just like kind of a slow and root bot after that. And so IMT will need to bring more damage. That's one way to do it.
I like to see it. You get the misfortune combo there.
I'm expecting, honestly, like a double combat bottom lane to be coming out from Wixie and Joey, right? Just because of how much you're kind of relying on getting a lot of this early pressure to come out from this lane, and actually try and contest what it is that Lost and Zeyzal are going to be doing. You're trying to interact as little as possible. And wow, there's so much range coming out in this bottom lane. But just as we were looking at before, Lennon, as you were saying, what Jackie Love said, these bottom lanes are super feast or famine when you have two marksmen on your side. And so if Wixie and Joey, with the help of Chad, can put Lost and Zeyzal behind, Zeyzal will not participate in the rest of the game.
Well, the only caveat there, I do feel like in this 2 ADCs looking outside of it, I'm very much looking at this Ezreal to have that late game impact, or even that mid game impact we're really looking at. So I want to see kind of those answers for IMTC in the second phase, how they can attack this squishier bot lane in later on, but especially how they can find their own advantages early, and maybe even find that proactivity from Balulu in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of focus for now on the bottom lane, right? We will kind of revert back to the initial matchup that we were so excited about at the beginning of the day between Balulu and Jimenez, but they didn't interact a whole lot, which was good for Balulu early on, but there wasn't enough of a setup from IMT or Balulu to make those fights actually work out. And you can see they're not even worried about anything that Balulu can play, because IMT on the blue side is going to be giving Jimenez another counter pick. And kind of scary thing, Jimenez still has his Akali available. Or not Akali, LeBlanc. LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Now
I was going to say, now it will be taken off. So don't want to continue to, light the fire that is MNS off that first game. The Vex performance looking really, really good. And we're into the second phase now of picks, and especially looking at what the counter pick is going to look like for Cloud9 Challengers and what they're going to set up here. I would expect maybe MNS gets that one. Fake God has been pretty stable in the top side.
Yeah. Fake God has been difficult to kind of push around. It is going to be the Renekton coming up for Fake God, and it's been interesting to kind of watch ADD, right? Because they were a player that was at Worlds this last year and didn't have like a great performance there. And a lot of people have been looking at this IMT roster and kind of been asking, where's the ADD that earned their spot to go to Worlds in the first place? Like, where has this player kind of gone. And this has been making a lot of decisions that we haven't really understood so far. And so hopefully they'll be able to do something with this.
You gotta understand this one.
But
You gotta understand this one, my friend.
just
It's
like
gonna be
in
a
Turkey.
shotgun versus the crocodilian. We've seen this one go down before last year.
Oh, you're excited about that? I'm excited about
I
the
am.
fact that Balulu
I'm
gets Zoe.
excited.
I mean, just as we looked at last year, right, where Balulu ended up playing support up against Immortals the first time, now they're going to be bouncing back. They went 2-1-12 the last time that Balulu played up against Immortals with the Zoe, and Immortals is going to be responding with the Syndra. There's a lot of volatility for this lane. Both sides are going to be very, very aggressive, trying to find a lot of opportunities to blow each other up, especially in the mid game. And it gives a great way for IMT to try and interrupt a lot of the setups that Cloud9 can find, just because of how difficult it is to deal with the skill shots coming over walls.
Yeah, we actually got to see Copy yesterday for CLG Challengers pilot the Zoe very, very well. And a lot of setup in the late game around those objectives was very crucial in their wins. I think that's something that IMTC will be very much liking in terms of something that we're kind of missing in that last game. Now we do see things panning out here. It will be the flexibility of this top and jungle matchup for IMTC. They're going to opt into ADD on the Sejuani versus Fake Gods Renekton, and Chad on a much more aggressive jungle, and that still can have that late game potential as well.
Yeah, and we'll see what kind of version Chad goes for, right? The version of Graves where you go with the Gore Drinker has definitely been a lot more popular for the past couple of months, and so it will be much more of a frontline style build if that's what Chad chooses to go for. But again, I'm so excited to see
yes,
Zoe.
We're going down bot lane. We're on our way. We're going to greatness.
All right, here's the prediction, Lennon. They're going to throw... There's going to be 3 skill shots thrown out between both sides, and then they will leave.
I bet one of them is going to land. We'll see how.
Okay.
Oh, there's one. Oh,
okay.
Okay. So far, I'm right. Oh, nope. 2 skill shots. All right. Oh, there's
there
a lot
we
more
go.
trading. Oh,
There's
my
a lot
God.
more.
There's a lot more damage onto Joey. Joey get a little scared. Not going to get that full on 5v5, but we do get some skirmishing early, kind of setting up and foreshadowing to what we could have early on in this game. Oh, my God, Joey. My friend.
Oh, okay, there was a lot more skill shots. There was like 12 skill shots
There's a lot.
thrown out.
It wasn't the double Comet bot lane, though. I'll just say. You know, if they had Comet, maybe.
Yeah. Comet Jhin is incredibly fun to play. But on the getting back into the game, right, it is worth noting right now that ADD is going to be piloting the Sejuani up in the top side. And this lane going into the Renekton is not the easiest thing in the world for them to actually play. And oh, thank you, observers, for highlighting that it is, in fact, Cloud9 who dominated the early game. They got an extra proc to the Spectral Sickle.
That's all that really matters in the grand scheme of things, it feels like. No, I was going to say this aggressive pathing, though, is super, super important for Chad and getting the help from ADD early on as well.
That was a very odd late invade, and Chad didn't really get much of anything. You're level 1, buddy!
Oh? Okay.
Well,
this is Chad going back to his side of the jungle now. Go back home. And I think Tobio's going to just follow it, maybe.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad coming in for Chad right now. He just used a blast cone, so Tomio knows exactly where he is. Chad still has a smite at least, but Tomio is still trying to hunt for it.
Oh, Chad flashing out, though. Still level 1. Can't catch a break here. And after all said, that Chad's going to try to wrap back around.
Yeah.
But no, this is just, he knows he has the ward there. Oh, Lost taking a lot of damage from the poke in bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to land the follow-up, and Tomio is still hunting for Chad.
They're still just going at it. I love it.
They have a combined 3 CS. And Chad cannot farm his entire top side of the map. Remember, oh my God, he's almost dead too. He's so low, and the smites don't heal anymore.
And he doesn't have any potions or anything. Oh, Wixie. That forward shot taking a little while to get out. Will get barriered by Zazel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, making sure they don't do any damage, but Chad needs to be very careful they don't get executed in the upcoming lane. And oh my God. Tomio does not stop.
This is it, though. He smells blood in the water, and he will follow you until he finds your death. We did Tomio just passing by, trying to play this aggressiveness, but now looking bot lane with a roam from MNS.
They should know he's here. They should know he can be here. Tomio.
A little bit interesting. There's Wixie, not going to burn that flash. Tomio just kind of feeling himself right now.
Yeah, okay, I really liked all the pressure on the top side of the map. As soon as it goes to the bottom side of the map, like, that's where it starts to get, like, oh, Tomio's going for another repeat gank.
He has to. Zeyzal will potentially just die here. He does have a 3v2 forming. Oh, no. Tomio, he finds Wixie. Kill not coming out. Flash from Lost. And that aggressiveness comes to bear. Tomio survives. And Lost gets a double. He might find a triple. And you ain't lost today. As Balulu coming in to try to make a difference. Gets the flash in, but can't find it. Gets another one to try to get out. Sleep. Trouble Bubble comes in on the Lost. Lost gets another. He thought he was going to get another Joey. No, it was delivered by Balulu himself.
FF, dude. FF. This game is over. It is done. We are dusted. Lost and Zeyzal are too good. They are up 3 kills. The mid lane is over. They're down like a whole level to M&S and down 2 waves already. Chad is on 2 camps at 4.5 minutes. Top lane is getting blasted. This is classic Cloud9. This is why so many teams have been saying Cloud9 are the best team in the entire league. It's because sometimes just this happens to people, right? Lost is so strong at this point. You were saying he's a late game threat. He's also an early game threat and a mid game threat. And it also comes down to the fact that Tomio is coming through to make sure that Zeyzal is alive. Wixie and Joey know that Tomio is still around, but like any sane person, they assume he's going back in his own jungle, but he's still here. They're still looking for the play, and Tomio would go down here. He, 1, didn't have to reload, and 2, didn't get a shield.
What a tragic start for IMT on the bottom side, even trying to get something back here at the end of the play. And I still expect to see this bottom lane go to fisticuffs here on both sides, but man, giving this to Lost and also hearing from Zeyzal last weekend, just hearing how much Lost is important in terms of this 2v2 setup and how much Zeyzal is actually following a lot of Lost aggressive calls. It's working out so beautifully.
Yeah, what was it that Zeyzal said? Lost is like the most aggressive AD carry
he's ever played with. Yeah.
I mean, he's played with a lot of AD carries. And it's crazy how the early invade from Chad snowballed into a triple kill for Lost. Right? Like, that's some crazy butterfly effect, you know? It's like Tomio just happens to be up in the top, is now down here in the bottom lane, just trying to follow Chad around, and
Isn't that the epitome, though? Isn't that literally just the epitome of Cloud9? Like, Tomio has just been ruthless, doesn't care so much for himself. It is about making sure his lanes are looking nice and proper.
Yeah. So, see what how Cloud9 actually closes us out, right? The thing that we need to look from for IMT is they scale right? Like, their scaling is decent, but, like, they are so far behind it probably doesn't matter.
Little outplay here. There you go, Balulu, but he's got Tomio right on his back. Does not have the flash, but does have that ghost pickup.
Yeah, is able to get themselves out, but they are under such crazy pressure all of a sudden that
Tomio's going to go wait for Chad in his blue side jungle without any camps there.
That's just rude. Like,
but Chad's, I feel like, getting the better end of it because he knows he doesn't have camps there, so he's just going to go straight through to Tomio's side.
Okay, let's get back to what I was trying to say before. At this point,
Nope. Hi, ADD. Tomio has found yet another gank, and Tomio plus Cloud9 equals success.
Is this the highest quality game I've ever watched? No, but this is one of the most entertaining games I've seen in a long time.
He's just been everywhere. Like, it's actually incredible. M&S will finally see Chad the first time, but Power Unleashed gets the kill. A solo bolo for the incredible mid laner of Cloud9. He'll go down to Chad as a response, though. 350 given to the jungler. But it's another one on the tally here for Cloud9's mid laner.
Yeah, I mean, Balulu lost so much by roaming down to try and turn around the early game play. As I mean, we just kind of see these things happen, right? If you give M&S a lead on a character like Syndra, they will absolutely be able to kill you throughout all of these upcoming plays. But right now, IMT, they have to go for this whack stuff in order to try and find themselves back in the game. You have to take these super low percentage plays just because, like, your odds of winning are just that bad from this position, right? I mean, the bottom lane hasn't exploded in terms of like the actual like turret or control there, but this is supposed to be a lane where with the non-interaction that you get from Joey going with his AP Misfortune build, you're supposed to be able to interact at ranges that Lost and Zazel can't do anything, but you just don't have the power because Lost and Zazel walk forward and hit you.
Early ace in the hole already doing a lot of damage, and Cloud9 bringing the bodies down bot lane. Bolulu trying to chase in behind, so is Chad. You should make oh no imminent. That was a little bit spicy. ADD, if he had that angle, maybe he tries to make something happen there, but it looks like the bot lane priority for Cloud9 will not lead to a gank, and it's just about Tomio having so much forward momentum.
Yeah, God, look at the top lane too. We haven't really touched on it because it's not been where the action has mostly been, but Fake God about to pick up his 3rd plate before 10 minutes.
Oh no, Bolulu, he does
flash.
flash out of the pushback from Tomio though, so he gets out of there. But that will be his real flash burn.
I'm kind of trying to think of what did we learn about Cloud9 and IMT this game? Because it kind of feels in a lot of ways like the CLG wildcard game where Jenkins just gets a 1v2 solo kill to start the game as Tomio is just chilling here.
Again, Tomio feeling himself. Have the keeper's verdict. Gets the
back
there, but get the sleep and the kill down to Joey.
Nice. I mean, okay, small thing there. If you didn't know, if you start the bullet time before the target fully falls asleep, it will not wake them up.
Because it's a dot.
Yeah, it counts as a dot for some reason. I don't know why, it just does. But good awareness from Joey, using that to their advantage to make sure you can get a full channel of bullet time onto that single target. Are able to find a little bit of damage back. You know, they are slowly, you know, getting some small things to be excited about. But does he even get a back off? He does. And now Wixie's all alone in the lane. That is 2 lanes that are going to be losing 3 turrets. Or excuse me, 3 plates off the outer turret before the laning phase is over. Basically all on their own merits. And while Tomio is getting up a lot of farm and has a lot of wards in his own jungle, is just constantly harassing people because it's the way you need to play on this Poppy. Once you start sending the Graves behind, you don't care about your own late game. You just need to make sure that Graves never gets to his.
And I'm seeing Tomio come down towards this bot side of the map as well. Dragon is up on the table, and I would expect with the pressure they're using bot lane, they want to move into that. Looks like Bolulu and Chad might have a different say here. Chad wants to contest. Still has that Rift Herald under him. Can use that as a bit of a distraction if they want to try and even up this objective score.
Yeah. Chad coming down.
Yeah, Bolulu coming as well. Nice play from Tomio to set up on the Chad, but he's in trouble now. Lost is out of there as... and a little bit of back and forth from both sides.
Yeah. He trying to proxy within the lane. Sorry, you can't do that one. Fake God's a little bit too strong. And now Cloud9 looking for this dive. Nice.
They're trying to fight it. Nice bullet time back, but it's not enough. They get one. Wixie dodging, but he does not have it in him. Zazel picks up a kill. M&S picks up a kill. ADD has escaped.
Yeah, and in the mid lane, Chad does in fact have the Rift Herald, and it's going to be a teleport coming up from Fake God to make sure that the entire turret does not go down. But look at this, the cavalry is arriving.
The Fake God moving forward here. Zazel wants to come in. Chad and Bolulu picking up a little bit of that gold here. Sleepy Trouble Bubble comes out. A little bit of damage in return onto Fake God. Yeah. And that'll be that in mid lane.
Now, I do want to give some props over to Chad because his early game sucked, right? It was so bad. The fact that he got like his first camp at like 2.5 minutes or something like that when he got his own red buff. Okay, Joey.
He's in trouble here. Deadly Flourish into the kill. Shut down over to Bolulu. Things starting to get clawed back here by IMTC.
Now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves and say that the game was even, but it is kind of showing that as long as you kind of look for all of these weird pick opportunities, they have actually some really good tools for it, right?
You gotta show some respect, Yoshi.
Yeah, you got the bubble, you got the ultimate coming out from ADD. This game should still be over because like Lost has not been involved in any of these plays, and as soon as that starts happening, like you're gonna feel it. But it is still, I like the fact that IMT, that was what we knew Chad for, is kind of making a lot of crazy plays. And now Bolulu, you're down 2 levels, or I guess only 1.
Oh, if he lands that sleepy trouble bubble, though, that actually would have been close.
Could have been.
We actually see Tomio's taking this dragon now as well.
Yeah. Fine, I just have so much pressure across the map and ADD.
Oh no, Balulu! You can't take on this big old crocodile. He's just waiting to gobble you up, my friend. The Gore Drinker came out from Balulu there. He's just waiting, buying time. Flash killed. No, but it traded it back as he gave enough time for IMTC to come up there, and a shutdown to Joey.
Yeah. I mean, they're just running around like a goon squad, right? Getting ready to take people down wherever they might be. And that's kind of how IMT does have to play, is you just find individuals. But MNS picking up the first turret down here in the bottom lane. Tomio still working on the dragon. And with a 3,000 gold lead already coming through, remember how well Cloud9 also scales, right? Zeyzal is ahead instead of behind, and will have the opportunity to actually use a lot of the vision control that this character can establish for themselves. And also, they hurt. That's something that Joey did not do.
Does damage. And something I have been impressed on is how ADD's willingness to play to the team has been helping out IMT with a lot of the decision making around these power points and bottom side. Again, we haven't seen Lost necessarily as involved yet, and that is a big namesake to Cloud9 right now. Chad going in on MNS, though. Power unleashed. He gets the collateral damage, gets out with the blast cone, ace in the hole, blocked by Balulu. Good friend.
Good job from Balulu, making sure he doesn't leave. I've definitely seen a lot of solo queue players dip away as they're like, oh, but my panel star, I don't want to lose it. Oh no. Man.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, Balulu that is one thing that I'm impressed by Balulu.
Oh my god,
is
Tommy's on Rift Herald now too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Presence of mind that'll come through. But Cloud9 not going to be outdone. They are using the fact that they are very far ahead to pick up all the neutral objectives and giving themselves another late game win condition. They're already up 2 dragons. We are on a Chemtech Soul, and you know, it's not the most exciting soul in the world, but to quote Magical, a soul is a soul. It still will allow you to have a big buff that your opponent will never have access to. And so Cloud9 have done a really good job kind of living in Chad's jungle and limiting his ability to farm. Just kidding. Haha.
Just kidding. I think, again, it just harkens back to this incredible comeback, at least from Chad, in the way that Tomio has just been constantly present around the map. But Chad is saying, I'm on this Graves, I can farm up to be relevant. And we were saying that the scaling is I think Chad will get more and more comfortable as we go forward. I think it'll be very difficult with the lack of range to play into this comp, but I definitely see Chad being a forward piece for IMT.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job farming, but I think the big thing like you called out is it's very difficult to play this game as the Graves because of the characters that are short range have crowd control, and the characters that are long range do a lot of damage. So it's kind of like the worst case of both worlds for the Graves. You really like playing against short range characters that do damage and don't have crowd control. So I will be paying more attention to the guy that we're kind of setting up at the beginning of the day with Balulu. He's on his most signature champion. He's a great team fighter, and he's also got one of the best tools that they have to start looking for picks, right? Because he's got the Sleepy Treble.
I was gonna say, Wixie and Joey have tried to get the Make It Rain plus Deadly Flourish combo like 3 times, not able to connect it. They haven't been able to get the poke down, and now Fake God is here with the crash coming in. They're finding Joey on the back line. Does slice and dice his way out of there. Tower finally falls. ADD tanking up. Make It Rain is not there, but it is the bullet time. Got the curtain call, getting Fake God snipe out. There's the Deadly Flourish onto Zeyzal, but no real follow-up. Wixie able to navigate this range in the fight. But Lulu wasn't even there.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Cloud9 have like different reads on how strong they really are, right? Fake God just like starting up a fight, and some people dive again, some people like, oh no, we have to hit the turret. You know, a rare miscommunication coming out from the Cloud9 roster.
Just 2 items were lost.
Yeah, like he hurts. It's the we've been seeing some different versions of like Ezreal itemization, choosing to stick with the Muramana instead of going directly for the Vori style build that we've seen. I think it was Aaron was one of the first people in the Challengers League to actually bring out.
Looking around the rest of the map, kind of doing a little bit of a check-in. We have the Leandries obviously completed, about 1.5 items for Balulu, but you have that Ludens there for MNS. The Radiant Virtues are aplenty, one of them for ADD, obviously one for Tomio. And I really want to see Lost get a big I guess, moment in a fight here. I know his poke has been really good, but for Cloud9, they are very far ahead.
Yeah.
Their gold lead has been very stagnant, though. And yes, lost. That's the thing. The lack of tankiness from this double ADC bot lane is still a weak point.
Yeah. Wow, IMT's doing a really good job, like
Sleep
leveraging
again. My God, Balulu.
Yeah. Oh wow, Joey's ultimate just came up. If it was up when Tomio fell asleep, that would have been a kill and probably a turret.
The execution that's now in the hands of IMTC. Ace in the hole comes through, taking about half of Joey's health. Fake God coming across the middle. True Shot Barrage will connect. Fake God very aggressive in his move into the lane, but Dragon coming up in about 10 seconds here.
Cloud9 really struggling to actually get some of these fights started, right? They don't have great tools to actually get these engages off, and so like IMT's just lighting up and shooting.
Curtain call. One shot. Two shot. Three shot.
Red shot.
Four shot.
Blue shot.
Hey, he hit one.
Woo! Blue shot.
Always
Now,
love to see that fourth shot go.
Cloud9, they're lining up. Remember, Balulu in Fog of War, Zoe in Fog of War is one of the most dangerous characters.
Now watch out, though.
game.
Fake God. They are coming on a flank here, and you have to be really careful. MNS, though, very low. There's the flash from Balulu. Glacial Prison from ADD. Tomio's out of that fight. As Fake God has not been able to get in just yet. He had the flank, but the forward aggression from IMT was too much.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're finding loss. Okay, he's over the wall with the Arcane Shift. Back into the Dragon Pit here, though, goes the fight.
Wow, the bounce back from Immortals, absolutely wild. They're playing as far away from loss as they can, knowing he's a strong one, and just leveraging all the poke, all the pick tools that they have. And Cloud9, they can't get in. They have to find these wild flanks.
Tomio is on his way. Fake God could maybe buy a little bit of time. TP's coming in from Balulu, though, into the lane, and Dragon is secured by IMTC.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be slowing down quite a bit of the Cloud9 scaling. I mean, it feels like Cloud9, they were also the same opinion. It's like, yeah, this one's done and dusted. You know, just guys kind of have a little bit of fun, but the game's not over.
ADD finding a tower down bottom lane. Tomio wants to get this Hex Flash over the wall. Fake God going very aggressive. Tomio almost finding Joey there, but some of that speed going into Tomio, helping out get to safety at least. And looks like a full reset coming out from INTC. ADD will be pushing back down this bottom lane, but the Cloud9 kind of sputtering, and only 2,000 now, Joshi. That lead ain't going as far as it did once.
Yeah. I mean, a big part of this is, again, you know, the fact that IMT constantly looking, and they're keeping themselves in the game, right? Morale in these kind of games is absolutely paramount to keep up. And, I mean, it's not something we really talked about, but you had the combination of his Fortune plus the Jhin, constantly looking for the Make It Rain plus Deadly Flourish. You also have the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. You also have the Glacial Prison. All of these things kind of come together in order to lock down individual targets. And the front line from Cloud9 is not particularly tanky, right? Fake God is reasonably tanky as long as he has his ults up, and there are melee champions for him to hit with his Gore Drinker. But, like, Tomio put himself fairly far behind in terms of his own economy, trying to make sure that Chad couldn't play. But Chad's not the person that is doing a whole lot this game. He's just there to contribute a little bit of damage.
All right, Baron started up here. Chad right on the wings. See if he can get into this pit, Joshi.
Curtain call.
Curtain call out. You got a little bit of TP now coming in from ADD. Shots on Azazel. Wixie is a sharpshooter, and Balulu will be his backup man as Joey, a little bit low. Baron, very low. Not going to get taken out by Chad, but will be taken by Tomio. Fake got it, a 1v4. Will sacrifice his life. MNS needs to get out with this Baron buff. I don't know if he can. The back gets completed from Tomio, but MNS will be chased down by Wixie. Delivery on the killing spree for the IMTC bottom laner.
And IMT, even after losing the Baron, they're now ahead in kills. This is honestly crazy resilience coming out from IMT. You know, this is the kind of thing that feels a little counter logic, right? Just so much crazy stuff going through. And again, lost. He got the triple kill at the very beginning, has not picked up a kill since. They're trying to play away from him as far as possible. But this is one of those places where, again, a little bit uncharacteristic communications coming out from Cloud9 where they disagree. Are we playing the fight? Are we playing to finish the Baron? Lost is like, guys, hit this Baron, hit this Baron. We need to get it. We need to get out of here. But everybody else is like, oh, we are going to create a little bit of space. But that leaves nobody left to actually DPS the Baron. So that's part of why IMT is able to clean up as much as they are, because the Baron takes too long. The people who are trying to get out didn't have time to do so.
Yeah, a little bit of that hesitancy. And you saw in there Zeyzal maybe not expecting Wixie to turn back onto him with those shots, but does go down. And actually, that trap line and everything would have been very useful. Not able to find it, though, and IMT have resurged back into this game. I know we said get me out early on, but get me back into this one because IMT will not give up without a fight. And we have a little bit long, about a minute and a half for the next Dragon, but IMTC, they are feeling a lot more comfortable moving out. We got the Prowler's Claw also completed for Wixie. We have item spikes coming online.
Yeah, ADD moving around. The one thing we still need to keep track of, though, is the fact that lost massive bounty. If they go down, that's a ton of money. Zeyzal getting caught.
He is just the non-tanky ADC support, and Tomio will join him soon afterwards. Chad moving forward. Collateral damage doesn't hit. Oh, 1 shot, 2 shot, blocked by Lost, 3 shot, 4 shot. There you go. True shot barrage back on a Chad, though we have Fake God pushing in top side of the map.
ADD going with the team, not going to be farming nearly as much. Just going to be helping out to try and find some of these picks. But, oh, look at this. MNS didn't back. He waited for the wave to go by. Now he's going to be hunting for any stragglers, looking for Chad.
The enter does get knocked back there. Tries to get out with this blast cone. Delivery not there today.
Tomio
is, back into the mid lane. Tomio has come across them. Does get the double knockup. Fake God trying to slice and dice his way here. Ace in the hold. Knocked back. Chad goes down. Now Lost is here. And Lost is going forward with the Mystic shots to rain down Balulu. Tanking up that last one for ADD. But it is a still couple seconds on the Baron buff, but a Dragon in the eyes of Cloud9 challengers.
Yeah, that is one of the most MNS things I think I've ever seen, right? People were pinging towards him being in the bottom lane near the alcove.
Oh,
and
MNS! MNS! A kill onto Joey as well. He will fall. Gets the Glacial Prison out of ADD. Balulu goes himself on a killing spree. Tomio taking out the Dragon here as ADD, Wixie, and Balulu moving forward onto Fake God. Is in trouble, though. Fake God going low. Not going to go down, though. Makes it out. Now Tomio back in with Zeyzal and Lost, but they have to back out themselves. The range not enough. Curtain Call will not hit the first shot. Will hit that second shot. Third. Fourth not going to connect. The Blast Cone gets Cloud9 out.
Wow. Cloud9, I mean, the gold lead has gotten a little bit bigger, but still, so much of that comes on with the fact that MNS just chilling in the backline, right? Waiting for Chad to go forward, waiting for anybody to get caught in the blue side part of the jungle. They pick up that extra kill, they take the 4v5, or the 5v4 briefly, and MNS, again, just looking for all these kind of solo kills, man. Chad?
He's in very... maybe unfavorable 1v2, now has a 2v2. There you go, collateral damage. You thought it was unfavorable for IMT, but they continue to find picks.
Yeah, Chad, I mean, just can stay in these fights for so long. Tomio, again, because he gave up so much of his own early farm in order to try and prevent Chad from farming, he was unsuccessful in doing so. Now, Menace coming in for another flank, has the ultimate. Where's this TP? The catcher's getting caught.
Yeah, he's in some trouble here, and not going to be a solo kill, but a much-needed kill to Balulu, who's down a rampage. Fake God did find Joey, but that's a kill given over easily, as Zeyzal getting a little bit low. Wixie is doing so much work on this Jhin. 4, baby, 4! As the ace in the hole, though,
God.
Fake God, he doesn't have the damage to take down the Crocodilian.
Man, these Gore Drinkers are so much better again.
Oh, no, the Paddle Star hit the wave. Curtain Call out. True shot barrage gonna go wide. Curtain Call.
Another one.
He got 1 shot. Not gonna do it. It is so back and forth. The tension is so taut.
Oh my God! It's just so wild to watch these two teams interact, because so much of it is about who can actually hit, who has the range, and for Cloud9, the answer is a lot of the time only Lost. We were talking about how, yes, MNS is one of the best duelists, one of the best people finding solo kills in the entire league, but there are other times where we just ask, like, what is he doing? That fight was one of those, what are you doing? Like, what is the plan here? Are you going to try 1-for-1 as the Syndra? You have so much more to offer than that. And so, IMT kind of preying on that a little bit more. They have the pick tools, and so, you know, even though, like, Cloud9 is officially winning, they're 1 dragon away from the soul, they have a gold lead. it's really unpleasant to play, right? It's an incredibly sharp position for Cloud9 where they can't really afford to make mistakes because they can snowball if they do it at the wrong time. But here, Jimenez, he's getting collapsed upon. Like, what is the next part of the plan after you start coming around this side? Like, where are we going to be going? Because imagine that Jimenez was with, like, Lost and Zeyzal in this position, right? Is doing the damage with the rest of the team. This fight goes from being really unclear and kind of back and forth in this chaotic mess, something that Cloud9 can much more easily win because they have the added damage that Cloud9 was 100% missing out on.
Couple of those shots going wide. Oh, he did actually. I was wondering when the trap
range
came down. That's where he got him.
Yeah.
Max range on the edge of the wall there. As now C9 positioning in front. Oh my god. Oh my god. Bullet time is almost enough to take down M&S, but he's out of, oh my god, Balulu, you monster! Can't get the follow-up on the Paddle Star, but it is the pressure that is being exerted by IMTC.
Yeah, Balulu,
another one.
Balulu's angry, man. Balulu is here. He does not want to lose to M&S twice. He's been so instrumental in landing all of these bubbles. Everybody backs away. Remember, Lennon, we have a minute left until the next Dragon. That's going to be one of the big opportunities for Cloud9. But they've been so ineffective at finding these flank angles, and look how many traps are just kind of dotted around the middle of the map. It's so much more difficult for them to try and find a deep angle.
There's TP now coming down. I think all the signaling is coming out from INT to try and stop this.
They're late. They're late.
They are very late. 2,000 health down. Wixie is trying to get in the pit. ADD just trying to get onto Zeyzal there. Baron secured. Can they make it out? Lost. Yeah. Find a little time here. ADD maybe going over the wall. Chat as well. This is very sticky situation. M&S, that was a greedy back. You knew they were there. See, though, as it was all a bait, Fan using the collateral damage out. Curtain calls coming through here. Really they need to get Lost back into a position to put some damage down, but it's M&S who comes out with the damage. The power unleashed of Cloud9 Challengers.
Oh, if ADD stays alive there, that's so good for IMT, man. They are able to move over to the Dragon and forcing everybody to recall on low HP, force them to use the teleports. They had such good position on the map, and they give it all up because their front line goes down. Cloud9 turns it around onto the most important member for them to do so, and now
the Soul.
Cloud9, yeah, Chemtech Soul.
This is such a big moment of the gold lead re-exploding, but as well as having that permanent soul here with the Chem Dragon, and they will easily secure that one. There's nothing IMT can really do out of it. We'll see Wixie take about half his health from True Shot Barrage, and Cloud9 definitely still set up in a correct position. Lost, I believe, going to be backing with a ton of gold here very soon as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. 1,600. We'll probably...
It's not as much as I thought.
Yeah. We'll probably be completing that serrated Dirk into something relatively soon, but Cloud9, as they continue to push forward and take more control of this map, you're starting to see the walls close in a little bit.
Balulu has just been so clutch finding these bubbles, and it has been the essence of what we've seen, at least this weekend from Zoe, especially seeing Copy. It is these big bubbles that come through, and Balulu is piloting this comfort to a T.
Yeah, he's been looking really, really good. Fortunately, I mean, ADD getting caught again forces IMT to give more ground, and it's way easier to play this kind of pick game when you are using the Fog of War, when you have more walls to play with. They should know that most of their base should get warded up here. It's going to be a lot harder to take people by surprise.
Taking a lot of damage. ADD go for it. There's the bullet time. Not enough, though, but they get the follow-up potentially. Fake God, Tomio, the front lines are going down. M&S can't get in, and ADD is moving forward. This pick for ADD has been so big, and Balulu, he lands another massive bubble! A shutdown onto Lost, and a deadly flourish to top it all off!
No way, no way IMT actually come back and win this game. They're still down 4,000 gold, but these bounties are going to be a lot going right back on over to IMT. They're going to be opening up the base, and Lennon has put them a single team fight away from winning the game. 30 seconds left on Lost.
They don't have much to deal with here. Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands, and they lose the game. That will be the inhib falling. IMT backing away. No objectives on the map, but Time bought for IMT and big mechanical execution yet again. ADD and Balulu, this masterful re-engage here.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing that comes through here is the crowd control that lands onto Lost, allowing them to DPS throughout this entire fight. Because if Lost doesn't get hit by that, he's able to hit ADD freely that entire time, right? Dissuade anyone else from coming in. The bubble of the Tomio is just kind of icing on the cake. It kind of feels like MNS is just trying to find these weird off angles, which sometimes look great when he has the damage to do it, but in these situations, yet again, Cloud9 are kind of playing down a man, and the Deadly Flourish, man, that killed.
Man,
Lethality,
that's
baby.
actually insane. The Prowler's Claw build gen lethality coming through here almost on that 4th item. We did get Dustblade completed for Law, so he has gotten that big 4th item, the mythic completion, all the extra stacks from the stats coming in from that one. So there is another big precipice of power here for Cloud9. They still are in that lead, although we've seen the faltering come through. Not something we typically know Cloud9 challengers for.
Yeah. I mean, it is so hard. Like, once you start slipping up your communication, once you relax, it is so hard to get yourself back in because it's stressful, right? I think everybody here has even played solo queue is like, oh, we're up 10,000 gold. It's okay. You start going for things, and you're like, crap, I don't want to lose this game. I don't want to lose. And you put yourself in a situation where you're all tense. You are playing mostly off of instinct at that point, whereas IMT, they're feeling good. Even though they're down, they've been down this entire game and have never actually had a gold lead. And they don't have the Chemtech Soul. They're just able to play in such a way where they are comfortable. And as you called out, Balulu, potentially the best pilot of this champion in the world, bounced back after a disastrous early game. He was down 30 CS.
I think the fact that we've seen such, in the midst of these big team fights, right, the bubbles onto crucial targets is such a need for Zoe players as a whole across the world. And I think seeing that execution here in a matchup where they were so far ahead, right, they had so much control, MNS was actually in a pretty good position, is just speaking leaps and bounds for Balulu, but it's still about finishing the game, Joshi. You still have to get a couple more team fights, maybe even just one in your belt to take this back.
I mean, this game really is like one team fight for both sides, right? One good team fight for either team can end it, and that's part of why ADD is trying to make sure that the wave is pushing. Look at that, like MNS is just like really struggling to participate in the game because he's so short range.
At ADD, the front lines set up here. Balulu cannot land it. Curtain call. They've split again. MNS needs to get into the fight. The keeper's verdict. MNS is all by himself. Got to be really careful. True shot barrage. Joey almost out of the fight. The whole setup here was Cloud9 on the top side of River so they can set up for Baron. And they still have this trap line, but Fake God maybe getting taken out. The Paddle Star does connect. MNS TP on the other side of the fight just to make sure he can reposition here. ADD. Fake God's already down. They get a trade here. IMT. They just duped C9. I don't know what else to say here. Deadly Flourish connects to make it rain. True shot barrage yet again, though. Lost is doing huge things right now for Cloud9. And no matter the state, Tomio will pick up the kill return. Balulu. Ace in the hole onto Wixie. Wixie very, very low. Lost getting lower, though. There's another bullet time, or make it rain, rather, will hit. Dragon, Elder on the table. Baron on the table. Both teams licking their wounds.
Dude, Lennon, this is like watching guards versus Votan. Like, both sides are shooting at each other from opposite sides of the board. You know? There's the melee champions are just kind of hanging out and as they blast each other.
They look really cool.
They look really cool, and now Chad is dead. Tomio doesn't have Smite up just quite yet, but Cloud9 are the ones actually pulling the Elder Dragon. Fake God will be able to teleport here.
Joey not having the bullet time. The curtain call does come out, though.
Zazel!
Oh my God, Zazel! TP on the back, though. This is Fake God. This is a big difference maker. MNS helps him secure the kill on the backline. Joey's dead. Balulu's in the pit. ADD over there. They're going to try to steal it without a smite, and it does not go their way. You think one thing goes well for IMT, a million things have gone wrong, and C9 take the Elder Dragon.
Oh no, that should be it for IMT. Balulu goes down. The teleport from Fake God, deep striking into the back line. Balulu has nowhere left to go. Tomio cutting them out away as they push up the mid lane. There's not a whole lot for IMT to do. They did such a good job fighting back. The fact that we made it to 38 minutes at all. Balulu, Wixie, Joey, Chad, ADD, they all played their hearts out, but IMT not able to stand up to Cloud9. Cloud9 is still inevitable.
MNS will find that masterful win over Balloon. Gave him some trouble.
Or are they?
One more. Not going to connect. And the defense stands here. As now you got a TP from ADD. He'll be spotted out. Has not the Glacial Prison. Has the Arkansas Lost. Taking down Joey, though. He still has Elder Dragon, friends. They get one back. Shutdown, though. Big amount of gold over to Wixie. Now Zazel might be caught out. He's got to dodge out all these traps. Zazel. Oh, no. Oh, he gets it back. Okay, ADD. He's on a killing spree, but then he just gave a shutdown over to Fake God.
15 seconds left on Tomio, who does not have Elder Dragon. There is a Baron up on the map, and IMT are the team with players on the map. Chad is up before Tomio. I don't think we're done. Even with the Elder Dragon, they tried to push without minions, and IMT closes it.
We got the Silverbeard Dawn completed here for Lost as the last item. Love to see a little bit of adaptation of that one, but definitely try to stay away from a lot of the CC coming through.
Yeah, I mean, that's so hard. So, I mean, IMT clear out the opportunity for Cloud9 to jump over the wall with ADD dead. Not going to be willing to actually chance it. So, IMT, the fact that they have Nexus turrets means that there's no real backdoor easily possible. The bottom lane is open though, and so they have to be very careful as IMT, because if Cloud9 were to overload the bottom side of the map, IMT do not do the Baron fast enough to actually force Cloud9 to respond to them. If Cloud9 are in the middle or the bottom side of the map, they just go bot lane and can end it. And Joey, I mean, he'll heal himself up a fair amount because of the number of plants. But this is tense. Again, a single bubble from Balulu can end the game.
ADD tanking up a little bit of that preemptive hit. Bubble does connect on Atomio, but yeah, can't follow that one up. And it is just a very tense moment. Again, both teams, more so IMT, one fight, one lost team fight, they lose here. Curtain Call comes out. Zazel tanking up a lot of that, but needs to get Fake God in front of them. Another Battlestar connects, and this is kind of the standoff fight that IMT thrive in.
Yeah. And these just long-range skill shots that IMT are throwing out, even though not everyone's going to hit.
They're pinging onto the Baron.
All right, Tomio. Yeah. That's, at this point of the game, that could be game-breaking, right, Tomio? Being forced to use QSS.
There's 4 members coming around the edge, but Lost goes forward. Dissuades IMT.
Cloud9 want to force IMT into a fight. Like, an actual fight where Fake God can play.
Man. Oh no, this is such a sticky situation for IMT. They got to get back in front of their towers here. ADD trying to be that body blocker here as the back's coming through from Balulu. Got the engage coming out. He's not part of the fight here. It's a 4v5.
He's rushing the Nexus.
There's the bullet time though. They're on the Nexus. They're fighting it down. And a 2-0 comes out from Cloud9.
Oh my god, Cloud9. There's not a lot of teams that can make that call right there. There's not a lot of teams that can do that. But oh my god, what a wild game!
They had him, man.
That game was supposed to be over at like 4 minutes. We went to 40. IMT battled back.
Just wasn't enough in the end. Definitely going to be looking back at that one for IMT. That is going to be it for game number 2 of the second series, though. We're going to sit it away to a little break, and we'll be right back to talk to Cloud9 Challengers. Welcome back to the Verizon post-game interview. I'm joined by the victorious jungler for Cloud9 Challengers, Tomio. Having found some comfort in your new home, man, you had a roundabout game number 2. I think you said it was a bit of fiesta before the interview started, but I gotta start picking apart from that early moment where Chad shows up and you decide that he no longer has his own side of his jungle.
Yeah, I think when you're playing Poppy, you kind of have to play her like an arcade game, you know? You just gotta like do whatever you want and hope it works. And
Is that how you play arcade games, Toby?
You just have to like
do whatever you want.
Because when I started the Raptors, I was like thinking they're gonna leash top or something and top down. And then last second they show up and they're like, oh, I got a smite. And then they went deeper and then I got level 2 and then I just kept chasing him.
Yeah, we could see like as soon as you hit that level 2, you're like, I could follow him in his own jungle, and then it just continued for 3 minutes. Then after all that, Falling gets a triple kill because of everything kind of culminating bottom side. So was that kind of obviously present in its own right, but how was the communication like in that early part of the game after Lost came away with the 3-0 bot?
After or before?
After.
I think after. Yeah, we were like, okay, this is huge, and then there's like 5 waves, and then Syndra, we're like, oh, you could just TP for the wave, because our volley needs to base after the triple kill, and we're like, oh, we're so ahead now, and then we're in a really good spot after, felt really good, and everybody was happy. Yeah, they got all their slums, and I think in this bot matchup, it's like doomed for them if they die once, or after like a disaster like that. So I think everybody's feeling good.
I do want to talk about the jungle matchup a little bit more, and we'll talk about your kind of cohesion with teammates afterwards, but it was against Chad, somebody you have had some track record against now, going into another year facing off against them. Obviously, you under a different organization here, but what do you kind of, before going into Chad, what are you kind of expecting? And then I'll ask you what happens afterwards.
Wait, I don't usually think before versing somebody, or I just play the game, but I know this guy, like, I guess for his invades, like level 1 invades, like showing up at your red after 600 HP, like out of nowhere, and smiting it. Because of that game, we got lane invaded level 1. I guess I wasn't prepped for that, but it still worked out for us. But yeah.
Okay, a little bit of forethought, but I guess it then came down to execution, and it just seems like you yourself are a lot more comfortable on this. I know we've talked about that. You've said that is so, but what exactly is just clicking for you in terms of communication with the rest of the team?
I think depends what champ I'm on, but I just say what I want to do early game, and then people tell me their lane states or how their matchup goes, and it makes it really easy for me, or if this person has push, or they have push on this timer, and I have to like think what I want to do, I guess.
Okay. I know we've gotten a little bit of different looks from you guys, but what's been your favorite part of the jungle meta so far? Is it just the facilitation, or do you want to go with something more aggressive?
My favorite part? I don't really have a favorite part, because I guess you can't really play carry champs, etc. But you can, I guess. You can play anything technically. But my favorite part is probably just being a dog. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Hey, it works out for you well. I mean, you guys find yourselves in a very, very nice sitting as we're cresting over halfway in the split. Have you just gotten a lot of bonding exercises or anything in with the team? How do you guys kind of unwind and bond together?
On scrim days or practice days, there's always a workout in the morning at like 10 a.m. I think
getting swole, Tomio?
That helps a lot. Yeah, I'm getting the gains for sure. But yeah, I think that helps a lot, bonding. And I think everybody outside and has a good relationship between each other, between the coach to players and players to players, and just everybody at C9.
Is Lost just screaming his head off when he goes for crazy kills?
I don't know. It depends on the mood. It depends on the game. Like after the triple kill bot, I was like laughing, if I remember, or like we're like woo, or because our Syndra caught like 5 waves or 4 waves, so he for sure felt good. At least I would if I was in him.
Hey, right? I mean, you get all those resources, feels real good. I want to give you a chance to give any shout outs here before we let you go, Tobio.
Shout out to my teammates, all my teammates. Shout out to my coach. Shout out to all the managers. Shout out to our sponsors. And shout out to the fans, the haters. And yeah, that's all. Oh.
No.
I would, but okay, that's it.
We'll let it go this time around. Thank you so much, Tovio. Appreciate you. We apparently had a requested chat. But Tovio, have a wonderful one. I'm sure we'll talk to you very soon. I look forward to checking in with you.
Thank you. See you next time.
All right, we'll go ahead and send it off to a little break here while we get ready for our final series of the day.